Gretch, thank you. A minor victory in reforming our nation's troubled schools. The state of Connecticut has passed a bill that overhauls their education system. But the state, which has one of the worst achievement gaps between rich and poor students, only achieved a small portion of the reform because the teachers' unions, which are very powerful there, refused to make any major concessions. So will the legislation have any impact? Let's talk to the former chancellor of D.C. Public Schools and the founder of a great organization called Students First, Rhee, who's up early in Sacramento, California. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. In the nearby nutmeg state of Connecticut, the Democrat governor, Mr. Malloy, proposed a number of wide-ranging and far-reaching education reforms, which is exactly what you would like to see. And the teachers' union came after him, didn't they?
They did. They fought him pretty hard on his reforms, but he stood very, very firm, and we were incredibly impressed with the fact that he introduced these bills to begin with.
And we should point out that now this reform, although watered down, has passed the legislature 149-0. And this particular governor is getting kudos because of what?
Well, he actually took on some very aggressive things at the outset, and even though there was a real attempt to water the bill down from the union, the Black Rican caucuses stepped in and really made an effort to strengthen it back up because they were concerned about the achievement gap that exists in Connecticut. So what the bill does is three very important things. One, it allows the Commissioner of Education of the state to take over low-performing schools, the failing schools in the state, and put them into a commissioner's network that has broader authorities, and that he is allowed to actually hand over some of these schools to be run by charter schools. The second thing that the law does is ensure that that not all teachers are granted tenure automatically, but that tenure has to be linked to the evaluations and the achievements of the teachers, which is a major victory. And then the last thing is that charter schools, which are also public schools, are actually given more money. So it's being made not completely equitable, but more equitable. So it's a very solid step in the right direction, but there is still a lot of work that needs to be done in Connecticut.
Well, I know your organization did a lot of lobbying in Connecticut, and I think I read somewhere that you spent just shy of $1 million trying to get as many reforms passed as possible. Okay, so Connecticut has taken a step in the right direction towards some reform. Just out of curiosity, what states are really taking the lead and looking at what we're getting for what we pay and trying to change things?
I'd say that the states that have been leading the way over the last 18 to 24 months have been Florida under Governor Rick Scott and the legislature there. They have really put some aggressive reforms in place that have built off of the reforms of Governor Bush, which were very successful. There were a lot of reforms that were passed in Michigan as well, and that state continues to be incredibly aggressive. Tennessee and Indiana are really right there in terms of putting a lot of incredibly aggressive reforms in place also. So what we're seeing is that more and more states are willing to take these issues on because they realize that the education system and fixing the education system is so integrally tied to making sure that you have a healthier and more robust economy.
Absolutely, but there is some political peril because you're taking on very powerful teachers' unions.
Without a doubt. Every state that we're working in right now, we have a tremendous amount of pushback from the unions. There's no doubt about that. There is incredibly important legislation that is being deliberated right now in states like Missouri, where they are trying to pass a law to get rid of last in, first out policies. Right. The union is not happy about that. But you know what? The everyday people, the parents, lots of reform-minded teachers, they know that these are the right things to happen to schools. They know that they're the right things to do for kids, and so they're being much more vocal about it, and I think that's having an impact on legislators.
Absolutely, and so is your organization. It's called Students First. Rhee,
Students First, we encourage everyone to go to the website.
Why not? I go do it all the time. A lot of good information there. Thank you very much, Michelle. Have a great day.
Thanks.